Hey yo, what is up everybody? It's B Militant. Welcome to the Redskins review. Today we're going to be talking about our first game of the season, which resulted in a loss to the Miami Dolphins. And also I'm going to talk about how the Redskins fan base seems to be split into two right now. So first of all, let's get into the game. First of all, what I need to say is don't panic. Don't go into panic mode. Don't do what everyone else is doing and say, oh, Gruden sucks, fire Gruden, fire everyone on the team, fire our team, get a new team. I mean, come on, you guys. We played the Miami Dolphins, who have at least a top 10 defense. Their defensive line is no joke, and we need to take some positives out of this game and realize that our team is a new, younger team, and they're improving, and we are improving. They're showing, in my opinion, what I think are improvements. We went up against one of the best defensive lines in football, and our new guys are Brandon Scherf and Morgan Moses, our pick from last year. They made those guys Sue and Wake pretty much non-existent, man. I mean, we have a lot of positives to take away from this game, and everyone wants to jump on ship and say, oh, fire Gruden and get rid of Kirk Cousins and, yada, 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 yada. Just please, you have to understand and realize that this was a team loss. It was a team effort. We lost single-handedly, not because of what Kirk Cousins did. Kirk Cousins did decent. He played decent. And, I mean, the two interceptions that Kirk Cousins threw, it got the Dolphins 0 points. 0 points. So you can't sit here like half of our fan base is doing and saying, get rid of Kirk Cousins, he keeps throwing interceptions. And instead of doing that, and instead of bitching and moaning about Kirk Cousins, what you should do is commend our defense for turning those interceptions into 0 points for the Dolphins. Instead of sitting here, what I see all day on Facebook, and seeing all these Redskins fans sit here and bitch and moan and get rid of Cousins, he keeps throwing interceptions and this and that. First of all, man, instead of doing that, like I said, commend our defense, dude. Yeah, Kirk Cousins turned the ball over, but look at what our defense did. Why don't you take your time out of your day and turn it positive and rally behind our team and figure out what we did right and, get behind our team and hopefully give them something more to a kick in the butt to want to do and play better, instead of sitting here and just bad-mouthing people and playing into people's downfalls. Half of the fan base wants to see RG3 in there, and half the, there's this bunch of people who are just, waiting for Kirk Cousins to fail, and why don't you rally behind who our starters are, whoever it is, because at the end of the day, it shouldn't matter who's starting. It should be if the Redskins win or not. And I think for the first game of the season, versus a really good defense, and Ryan Tannehill is, and the Dolphins are definitely improving. The past few years they haven't been this good, and we should learn a lot because we are in the same rebuilding phase, and we competed against them, and we should take some things away. Like we had, Alfred Morris looks great. What lost us the game was penalties and special teams. And goddamn, how many years have we been talking about special teams? I mean, it's just plaguing the Redskins. We don't get anything going on special teams. We don't get kickoff returns or punt returns, and we always give them up. I mean, it's like, to me, it's just, our team is like full of like stars. Everyone on our team thinks they're a goddamn star and they shouldn't have to play special teams, and they always end up giving up special team plays. It's ridiculous. I don't know. We've just been plagued by special teams for so long. But we are moving in the right direction. What Scott McClellan has done, look who made some plays today. Preston Smith. A guy that we just got, a guy that Scott just fucking drafted, is making plays. You guys, come on, stop sitting here and gloating over a loss, which was ultimately decided by special teams, a punt return. I mean, how many more games do you think we're going to lose this year from a punt return? Not many, man. I mean, our offense kept us in the game. It sucks Deshaun Jackson left. If we had Deshaun Jackson that entire game, I think, and hopefully you guys would realize that game would have been much different. But now we're going to need some guys to step up. Some new guys, Rashad Ross. Anyone else, you know, Jamison Crowder. We need some guys to step up. And we also lost Duke Inanacho with a broken wrist or whatever. That sucks, man. I think he was playing fairly well. Although, I mean, we have more guys. They need to step up. But the thing is, it sucks that we're getting so many injuries because now there's a lot that's special teams. That's where we get hurt. Guys have to now come in and play, you know, every down and then go play special teams as well. So I think that's really kind of what's going to hurt us in the long run too. I think our special teams probably won't get much better. I mean, I'm going to be optimistic, but let's see what else, man. Alfred Morris looked great. Our offensive line looked good. Kirk Cousins moved the ball in the first half, man. In the first half of the game, it looked like we had all the momentum until penalties. Kirk Cousins had a delay of game penalty. I doubt that that's going to be a trend with him. You know, he's still young, he's still learning, and that's the key here, man, is we're a young football team learning. And Pierre Garçon looks almost like himself, you know, running aggressively. He trucked that dude. It was amazing. Keenan Robinson had another crazy, you know, body slam. If we keep playing that way, our defense held their own against a pretty good young, you know, offense. You know, Ryan Tannehill isn't no joke. And Jarvis Landry, you know, he's a new guy. He obviously is talented. But I'm trying to think of who else, man. Our defense really stepped it up, but except for the 2-minute drill at right before halftime, which, you know, is something we're gonna have to look at in the 2-minute drill, where people are moving down the field quick and hiking the ball quick. It seems like we didn't have the right adjustments and things because we gave up the one touchdown we gave up right there in the 2-minute drill. And another thing, you know, Brent Grimes, man, he made a really good play on that interception. If anyone, you know, people are like, oh, Kirk Cousins threw 2 interceptions, but I will have to say Kirk Cousins had a good deal to do with the first interception with Brent Grimes, even though, you know, our wide receivers, they didn't attack the ball. They stood still and, like, let the ball come to them. I mean, it's that one could easily be on both the you know, the quarterback and the wide receiver. But I mean, the second interception, putting that on Kirk Cousins, that is absurd. You know, we're sitting here down in a game, and, you know, we haven't gone deep the entire game and since the time we threw it to Deshaun Jackson, and Kirk overthrew it a little bit. But I mean, that just comes from being, you know, rusty. It's the beginning, you know, Deshaun Jackson's first goddamn game. But yeah, so he threw it up to Garçon. He had one-on-one coverage, and Kirk Cousins threw the ball up right near the end zone for Garçon to have an option to come down with the ball. And guess what, guys? Garçon didn't have what it took to come down with the ball. And I'm going to actually put up a picture and show you, you know, look, I mean, what else can Kirk Cousins do, man? He had to take a shot. We should have been taking shots earlier. And I think this is somewhat part of, like I said in our last video, our offensive coordinator, man, he needs to step shit up and believe in Kirk Cousins and believe in our wide receivers. I mean, just because we had Deshaun Jackson out, we took 0 more deep shots, man. We need to stretch the field. We need to make them believe we're going to go deep with the ball. And the one time we went deep to Garçon and, you know, McCain or whatever, I mean, come on, dude. He just made a bobbling one-handed catch. That's nothing, you know, that's not Kirk Cousins' fault. And I'm not saying it's even, you know, Garçon's fault. It's just we lost in a team battle, and we lost, man. I mean, it was a close game, and I still am encouraged, and you guys should be encouraged as well, because our guys played good, and against one of the most scary defensive lines, our offensive line looked pretty damn good. And I do want to see more from Matt Jones because, I mean, once we start getting 100 yards with Alfred Morris in a game, I think we should start rotating Matt Jones in and putting in a fresh new body in there. I think we didn't do that enough. But yeah, overall, it was a good game. It was pretty much a defensive battle. And also, you know, everyone, you know, is sitting here. It's so frustrating to see on the Redskins and other pages on Facebook about the Redskins. It's just nothing but a small few of you guys who are like me and are true fans who say, you know, it doesn't matter who's starting out there. We have to rally behind them and pull out positives out of games and stuff like that. But, you know, this game could have very easily gone the complete opposite way in our favor. If you noticed in the game, Ryan Tannehill threw the ball right to two of our defenders and hit them in the hands. I believe it was Keenan Robinson and another guy, I can't remember who it was, hit him right in our hands with the ball, and then we could have had two easy interceptions, turnovers. One probably could have been a pick six, and guess what? We just didn't get those interceptions, man. So, I mean, for all you guys out there jumping the ship, you know, you want Gruden out of Washington, you want, you know, Kirk Cousins out, you want, you know, you're not helping shit, man. What you need to do is have some faith. It's the first game. Look at the positives. Alfred Morris is a beast, like always. Our offensive line seems, you know, when it comes down to it, they look good. And just don't panic. Rally behind our team. Stop sitting here fighting each other in the comments, you know, on I guess YouTube or on Facebook and everything. And yeah, I guess let me know what you guys think about the game. It was entertaining. I mean, I'm pretty, besides the interceptions we missed, I am pretty impressed with our defense and how they stood up. Even when our starting safety went out, we still had some pretty good safety play with Robinson coming in. And next week it sucks, but Chris Culver, who hasn't really shown me too much, he's going to be out of the game next week, which is kind of bullshit. I don't understand how they're giving him a suspension and it's taken this long for them to give it to him. But at least we get Brashad Breeland back, and hopefully he is fired up and ready to play, man, and step in as our #1 guy. And David Amerson, I actually really am high up on David Amerson. The natural instincts that he has, and since I've been watching him in college before we drafted him, he's a really good player, but he has been getting burnt and beat, and you know, there's been a lot of times where he just seems to be on the grounds because he's anticipating something. He kind of reminds me of D'Angelo Hall, which D'Angelo Hall, he gives up a lot of big plays, but he also makes a lot of big plays, and I don't know if we have enough room on our team for two of those guys, but let's see what happens. Next week, we're going to have another hard test versus the Rams. But I'm optimistic, man. We're playing at home again. If we can run the ball again, I think if we run the ball like we did in this game with Alfred Morris, we are in a great shot to win any game we play. If we have running stats, if we have Alfred Morris running, we don't make the penalties that we made, our special teams tightens up a little bit, we're solid, man. Take it away. Don't keep putting your heads down and just wanting to change everything about our team. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna end the video. This is one of my longer videos. Please check out the other videos, and I have a lot more coming for you guys. Hail to the Redskins. Peace out.